Over 1,000 years before the compass reached the Pacific, humans were already crossing thousands of miles of open ocean, using nothing but their eyes, their memory, and the sky above them. No maps, no metal instruments, no written records to fall back on if they got it wrong. How does anyone find a single island in an ocean covering a third of the planet? Polynesian voyagers settled islands scattered across an area larger than Russia, Canada, and China combined, starting roughly 3,000 years ago and continuing for centuries. Some of these islands are separated by over 2,000 miles of open water, with nothing in between but waves. The navigators who made these journeys use a system now called wayfinding. It relied entirely on memorized knowledge passed from teacher to student, sometimes over decades of training. There was no writing involved. Everything lived inside a person's mind. Why memorize instead of write it down? Because the ocean doesn't stay still long enough for a map to matter. Wayfinders track the rising and setting points of specific stars along the horizon, building a mental compass with dozens of star paths memorized and sequenced throughout the night. When clouds block the stars, navigators switch to reading ocean swells, distinct wave patterns that bounce off distant islands and travel for hundreds of miles before fading. Skilled wayfinders could feel these patterns in the hull of the canoe, sometimes even lying down to sense subtle changes in motion. Birds mattered too. Certain seabirds fly out to fish each morning and return to land each evening, meaning their flight direction at dawn or dusk could point a navigator toward land they couldn't yet see. Could a person really hold an entire ocean's worth of directions in their head? Apparently, yes. Master navigators memorized star compasses with over 30 reference points, wave patterns unique to dozens of routes, and seasonal patterns for wind and currents, all without a single written page. This knowledge nearly disappeared. By the 20th century, traditional wayfinding had almost vanished, pushed aside by modern instruments and colonization that disrupted the training systems that once passed it down. In the 1970s, a Micronesian navigator named Mau Piailug helped revive the practice, teaching Hawaiian sailors on a voyaging canoe called the Hokulea. In 1976, the Hokulea sailed from Hawaii to Tahiti using only traditional wayfinding, proving the ancient method still worked exactly as it always had. Modern GPS can tell you exactly where you are within a few feet, but wayfinding required something GPS never demands, understanding your entire environment so completely that you become part of the instrument itself. Sometimes the most advanced technology of civilization ever built wasn't made of metal or circuits. It was built entirely out of memory.